Okay, guys, the moment of truth, the day we've all been looking for. It's podcast day. Recording Monday night with these guys, same crew as last time. Because it was fun. We had a lot of laughs. It was a little longer than usual, but I think everyone loved it. Everyone loved the personalities, and people were screaming for Ludo to come back.
Screaming? Wow.
Outside the studio door.
I hope they're screaming of joy.
Oh, yeah.
And not disappointment.
No, screaming like we want more of this. You know what I'm saying?
No, they were horrified. They were horrified, Ludo.
But, guys, regardless, another incredible round of Serie A. And right now, there's only 9 more games left. You can count how many games on 2 hands. It is right there for the taking. Pete's laughing.
I was laughing.
Why were you laughing?
Because he has an extra game.
I have an extra game.
That's true. 10 for Inter. But let's cut to the chase.
I got some good stuff today.
Oh.
Okay.
So why don't we start with you, Pete?
You want to start with me?
No, not yet.
No, it's nothing to do with any games or anything.
Oh, you got some good stuff. What do you mean good stuff? Some Manscaped?
I had a good conversation on Friday with I would say fellow IFTV listener.
Oh, nice.
Follower.
Listener of the podcast. He had a question that I had to bring up on this table and maybe ask everybody here. Okay. Right? Don't you remember when Antonio, every Scudetto, we don't want the Scudetto. That's toilet paper.
Oh my
we don't want the Scudetto. That's toilet paper.
Wow.
I have never seen a guy so excited for a Scudetto.
Wow.
There's still 10 games. There's like 4 teams in the running. You think it's already won. And the way that you're excited for the Scudetto, I'm really surprised. And this guy is Joe, a friend of mine. Joe's a Juve fan, but he just wanted me to say it out loud. And he had a point.
I want to see what he's got in his paper then. Because he only wants the crumbs.
Maybe.
So, guys, before we get Anto riled up.
Guys, listen. This is the craziest Serie A season that I can ever remember in my lifetime.
Literally.
We have 1 point separating first to third place. 3 teams that will all fight until the death for the Scudetto. We got Inter, we got Napoli, we got Milan, and then it doesn't stop there because there's an even crazier Champions League race where from 4th to 6th place, there's only 6 points. 4th to 7th place, there's only 6 points separating them. If you are not watching Serie A, you are simply missing out.
Calcio's the gift that keeps on giving, guys. And Marco, I think we have a great deal for them too. We're not just going to leave them empty-handed like that. What kind of people would we be, right?
We are not, because if you are in America, you could stream all of the Serie A matches and Champions League, by the way, which is coming back this weekend, on Paramount Plus, which is our premium sponsor of IFTV.
That's right.
Of basically all of our content, because they love the IFTV community. They love you guys.
Especially.
And we have a deal for them. Because you cannot miss Serie A. You cannot. If you never watched it, you have to make sure you do this. The top of our description, the link at the top of our description, you will get Paramount Plus, a 7-day free trial, and then $4.99 a month after that.
Wow.
That's not bad.
And Marco, if you do get it for the year, you do save 16% on that. And
Since when do you know how to count?
I really don't, but for Paramount, I actually put some numbers together. I actually got a calculator because this is a deal you cannot beat. You get all this culture action, you get the European games, you get the TV shows, you get the movies, live TV. I mean,
Amazing Race. I watch Amazing Race, guys. Tune into Amazing Race. The season's actually really good.
I gotta check that out. There's a couple people left. But Marco, even if you go to that's cheaper than if you go get a coffee at so many of these hippie coffee shops over here.
We got a lot of those in Brooklyn.
So you already make your money back in an instant just watching a couple of games. It's extraordinary.
It's true. Guys, they're supporting us. We need to support them. Paramount Plus is our sponsor. Link in the top of the description. Wherever you are, make sure you go and buy your subscription.
And back to the podcast.
There we go.
We're insinuating we play a little game. Actually, Antonio came prepared with 5 beautiful sheets of the schedule of the Scudetto contenders. So the top 4. At the end, towards the end of the podcast, we will say our prediction, how many points each team will have, and how the teams will finish. But before that, we gotta start with the first game of the Serie A round, and it's about Juventus. Juventus beat Sampdoria 3-1 today. Vlahovic didn't get a goal, but they still ended up getting the 3 points. They got Morata getting a brace. And yes, they scored 3 goals, but just like last week, I feel like I'm repeating myself. Juve weren't that convincing. They scored an own goal from Sampdoria. They also won a penalty. Then at the end, they scored a consolation. But Candreva missed a penalty. Szczesny blocked it. Fun fact, Szczesny blocked the last 3 Serie A penalties he faced. Then they got a goal from a deflection from a free kick. So it could have very easily been a 2-2 game at that point. And who knows how tight that would have been. I think it was tighter than the score sheet did say. But for me, this is the reasons why I don't think... At first, I thought Juve could maybe fight for the Scudetto. But now, with the performance that they have kept putting in, it hasn't been very convincing on my part. Gaetano, do you think differently from me? Did you see the game? Do you see the approach of how they go about it?
Yeah, I saw... I didn't see the whole game. I saw the highlights. And every time I see... Juventus play, and every time I see Cuadrado play, I keep thinking this guy's got to be the MVP for Juventus. The guy is fantastic, and he's always very creative. He goes down the line, he beats his man, he puts the ball in, and on that first goal, he did something very smart. When you're running down the wing. Mm-hmm. And you go cross the ball, a lot of the players, they stop, they turn, they come, they go. And once you stop and you turn, you give the defense the chance to set up themselves. But if you go down the line and you cross the ball, you have the defense going towards the goal. So if he hits them, it's going to go in the goal. So I thought that was very smart. I'd like to see that more. As far as Juventus is concerned, yeah, they win all these games. And they're not convincing, but at the end, they're going to be there. At the end, they're going to be one of the top 4 teams. I think that there's no way that they're not going to be in the top. Now, Dybala is coming back. Chiellini is coming back for the next game. And I think that Juventus at the end is going to be top 3.
Okay, but you agree with me in the point that not fighting for Scudetto.
No. The Scudetto is not. They have too many teams in front of them. They won't go for the Scudetto.
Okay. P,
top 4, close to top 3.
Pete, did you have anything different to say on that part?
Well, listen, Juventus, they're clinical when they need to be. We were joking around, right? Juventus had in the first half the 2 goals and they had one shot on target.
Exactly.
And that one shot was the penalty. So, you need a little bit of lady luck, but also I think Allegri, the penalty save, well, whatever. The thing is, Allegri, the way that he has this team playing is Allegri's style. I don't think there's anything new. It's defend, score the goal, hold the possession, try to just absorb the possession, and then you scrap away a goal and you win the game. So yes, they're there. I think the quality of the Juventus players are going to keep them there. They might, like Gaetano said, I don't see them out of the Scudetto race still, because I think that Milan, Napoli, Inter, even though they have, especially Milan, Napoli, have a good recent string of results, I see them all losing some points. And if Juventus are able to scrap away these wins, they'll just keep on climbing the ladder. Mm-hmm. So I think till the end, they're going to be there. Do they win the Scudetto? For me, no. But they're definitely a thorn in all these teams' sides.
And I just want to say they are the most informed team in 2022. That's not the case for me. It's just there's so many games where I feel like, wow, they could have really drew that. They could have dropped points. And to me, that's not convincing. Ludo, is that the same way for you?
Yes, that's the experience. And for the most part, I agree with Peter. It took a little bit of time for Allegri to fine-tune or quote-unquote tune up this team. And we all know Allegri's mentality. First, let's put on a blanket. Let's cover ourselves up. And then we will find a way to score a goal. Whether it's Cuadrado, whether it's Vlahovic, whether it's Morata, the single player and that mentality and that Serie A experience comes out that Juventus will win the game. I saw most of the match on Friday, and I thought Juventus wanted to obtain the 3 points by basically not pushing themselves that much, saving energy for Wednesday. And I think the Scudetto race for Juventus will depend if they move on to the Champions League. I think if they do move on past Villarreal, they are more will be concentrated to the Champions League and moving forward. Mm-hmm. If Juventus does get eliminated, then I think they could be real contenders, and I believe they can win the remaining of the games because they do have that mentality, that experience, that Serie A experience that will take them. They might not win it. I mean, maybe a point or two, but they will be up to, and definitely
They'll fight to the last
they
day.
will make Champions League. It all depends on Champions League. I think personally, it all depends if they move forward in Champions League, then they'll try to balance, but with an eye more towards Champions League.
I got
because
you.
Serie A,
it's very difficult.
You're in top 4, you're getting your money, you qualified, you're going to be in Champions League next year, you're getting your 40 million, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Anto, how about, do you agree with these guys?
Listen, I enjoy listening to Ludo. He's right next to me right now. We're buddies. We play Saturday, Sunday. But he's one of those guys from Naples that is capable to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. And for a little thing, he can just build up it's like a word salad that just will just get something that is very, very simple, a little bit more complicated. The things is done already, Ludo. Let me just explain to you what I'm trying to tell you and what I'm trying to tell all of you guys.
We don't have to go all.
First of all, Juventus is not going to win the Campionato. Mathematically, yes, they can, because the math is science and it's not an opinion. But my opinion is better than the math and the science.
Calling all scientists.
Let me tell you something. Statistically, Juventus' chance to win the Campionato is nearby 0.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
What statistics do you look at? Is
Yes,
the same statistics at 90% down the middle?
It's going to have to be a total catastrophe that is going to happen to Napoli, Inter, and Milan. They're going to lose more than 4 or 5 games.
I agree, but they'll be there.
They'll be there doing what? To watch one of the 3 of us winning the Campionato? Yes, they'll be there. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why Gaetano, I mean, he knows it himself. He never stuck his neck out to say that they have a chance to win the Campionato. They have 0 chance. Now, let me go back. The only one, so you say we're talking about Juventus right now.
Yeah, just Juventus.
As far as Allegri is concerned, you starting again, just giving some sort of stuff that has been done so many more times by other coach. Stop saying this is Allegri style. It's not Allegri style. Allegri did not invent the style of play that they're doing right now.
Right,
this was what Italy used to do. The Italian Championship used to do. First, don't take the goal, and then just go for the counter attack.
But it's also the players that you have, Antonio.
It's
the players that you have, and you have to utilize
Ludo,
those players.
Let's not label a style of playing
I'm
to the
obviously
coach.
not saying Allegri
It's
is
based on the roster that you have
created the
currently.
style. I think Allegri uses his defensive tendencies with this Juventus
but
team.
that's not. He did not create anything.
All I can say is that creating.
It's an Allegri style.
I'm saying that
based
his
on
way
the
of
roster
playing
available to him.
But I have to. One thing I do have to say about he's been able to figure out the center back pairing because for a while Chiellini, Bonucci are out. Rugani has become a different defender. Okay. De Ligt has proven to be this great defender, leader, where people were questioning if he's going to stay. Now it seems like he wants to be part of this project. And then even moving Danilo into center back and him having a great performances. Sure. So listen, defensively, Juventus are solid. Attack-wise, they don't play beautiful, but they have the guys up top that can finish a goal in 2 seconds.
I strongly believe that Juventus needs to invest on a center mid.
Yeah.
Someone can be in the midfield and create the pace of the team and dictate the tempo of the team. I think that's where the money should be invested to find a quality player for the group. I think forward-wise, they're okay with Chiesa coming back and the other players, Vlahovic, and the defense, like Peter said. I think you need a solid
you don't see Dybala staying in
Absolutely
Juventus?
not. We said it last week. We're not going to repeat ourselves.
So
I
just
don't see
to
Dybala
answer him quickly about the style of, I'm going to give Allegri the benefit of the doubt because he's got 7-8 players hurt right now. Okay, Dybala, Chiesa, McKennie, Bonucci, Bernardeschi, Chiellini. So he's got a lot of players. But when these guys are coming back, if I don't see Juventus play the champagne soccer that I'm waiting for, then I will agree with you.
Yeah, but Gaetano, but are you talking about with the midfielder that I spoke about, by buying a midfielder that can...
Okay, I expect to do it when these players come back. I expect to do it now. Arthur is getting into the game. He was hurt before. I think Arthur, the last couple of games, is getting into there. Sometimes he holds the ball a little bit too long. But with the team that they have now, he should be able to do much better. I want to see an identity. I want to see...
but you mean as midfield? Because Juventus' problems this year has been the midfield.
Right, the midfielders. Yeah.
That they were not up to par with the...
They haven't been in the last few years.
Correct. Yeah. So now, do you think that buying a solid midfielder...
Yes, I agree.
That they can... but you don't think it's Dybala, though?
No. We're talking about... the center midfield.
Right in front of the defense.
Right in front of
it.
We're talking about the Pirlo.
Yeah.
We're talking about Pirlo. I think that hasn't been able... If you need that person in front of the defense. The rest of it you can manage.
Right. Identify a good player that invest a good amount of money.
I think the biggest thing too is Gaetano saying with the team that they have, they should be playing better than what they are. They're playing like they have a Serie B payroll or something.
I agree.
Yeah.
But when those guys come back.
Yeah, when those guys, that's fair enough.
So by the way, Jorginho is going to be available soon because Chelsea is probably going to be trying to sell a bunch of.
That's a good. That's a good.
Don't
play.
tell them that I.
How does a Napoli fan feel about
Ludo,
that?
do you think Jorginho would go there?
No, Jorginho will not go to Juventus.
Why not?
Because he was in Napoli already.
So you're sold on that, right?
So you're saying
my opinion. I could be wrong.
Maybe can come back to Napoli. You're saying, right, Ludo?
No, Napoli.
but
it's not the first time that Napoli players go to Juventus.
No,
Napoli players.
Higuain. You remember Higuain?
Yes, I agree.
Starting from Zoff.
No, I think it depends because what do you call it? It was Cavani that was linked to Juve, and he said he would never do that to Napoli. So it depends. With Higuain, it ended in a bad way. And with Jorginho, I don't think it ended up in a bad way. So I think that's
Cavani cannot even play Pompei, and it's done.
Yeah.
What is it going to do?
This was a couple years ago, not now.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
All right, I thought you were saying right now.
But moving on to the next
Let's
game.
move on.
Yeah, moving on to the next one, Roma versus Udinese. This was extremely frustrating for me, and I can only imagine how a Roma fan feels about this because this game they didn't even deserve to get a draw out of here. Udinese played very, very good. They could have been up 2, maybe even 3 goals, and Roma was saved by the whistle. I believe it was a 93rd minute. They ended up getting a penalty, and their captain Pellegrini stepped up to take it. But this was the first game that Mourinho was back in the last 2 games where they won without him. And they're just so strange. You never know who's going to catch which side's going to show up. And now they drop points. Lazio winning today. Now Lazio are ahead of Roma. Their rivals are ahead of them. So
and Sunday you have the derby.
And Sunday you have the derby, which the first time that they lost, Lazio completely dominated them. So I really don't... They're so inconsistent. I don't know whether to put the blame on Mourinho, the players, both, the mentality of the team. But they look like they didn't want to play. They look like they were playing a friendly match. There was no chances, no grinta, no... I'm so confused.
I think that Roma, being inconsistent is due to the fact that when they play during the week, it looks like they don't have enough time to recuperate the mental energy to concentrate again for the next game. They played, I believe, in Holland on Thursday.
Yeah.
I believe they stayed there until Saturday, and then they went to Udine on Saturday afternoon, I believe.
So
right? Or did they play? Who did they play? They played away.
I will double check. But
Yeah, they played away. They played away.
They played away, correct. So they were in Holland for 2 days, and then they flew to Udine on site. They didn't go back to Rome, and it feels like the team has difficulty recharging mentally and getting ready
within a few days.
Yeah, within a couple of days, because they played on Thursday and then they had to
But
play
Ludo,
again on
I feel like
Sunday.
this is not the first time that this was brought up, or we thought about Roma playing in a specific topsy-turvy way, with one game is one side and one side is
we can
another.
look. I think Roma did lose a few points, especially after
the European week.
Yes. they did lose a few points, which they came back the last minute or so in the.
But then, guys, look who's the coach. It's Mourinho.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys give too much stock. You put too much stock on this guy here. It's just.
It's not the first time that teams complain about this Thursday game. We're not talking about Tuesday, Wednesday, where you can have the 3-4 days of complete rest. When you play Thursday and then you expect to play Sunday, and then I think Roma have to play again this week in the Conference League, if I'm not mistaken.
The second leg.
So you have all these games back to back. The roster is not deep as other top teams within the league. And like Ludo said, I think the energy levels are always, especially towards the end of this season. This is a team that doesn't have the how can I say, the experience maybe playing within a European competition. So it's hard to always be on your game.
I just want to open up a little parenthesis, Peter. Sorry to interrupt you. We go back to Vlahovic 1 second with Juventus, and Allegri said it also. Vlahovic is coming from Fiorentina. He did play a couple of years in Serie A, but remember, he only played once a week.
Yeah.
So even Juventus, Allegri said he's not used to the 3-4 days mental regrouping and recharging mentally. So that's why most likely on Saturday...
He's going to start from the bench?
No, he started from the bench.
He started. He came off.
He came off the bench.
Yeah.
He didn't,
I remember
he didn't
that, yeah.
start.
Yeah.
So it's because Allegri feels he's not ready for the Wednesday, Sunday game.
Yeah.
Recharging.
He's been playing a lot
its
too.
batteries. You got to get used to that.
And I just wanted to say, Mourinho, after the match, he said we only really played for at most 30 minutes of real play in this match. If we played with actual time, we would still be here at midnight. So he was making fun of Udinese, how they were time wasting the whole time. But here's another point. Yes, these teams are always, the smaller teams, underdogs, if you're up a goal, you're always going to time waste. I feel like Mourinho uses those excuses to his clutch too much, rather than sometimes maybe spreading the blame to himself at times. He's a great coach, all this stuff, but this makes people not really like him in a certain sense.
Mike, on that, I'm going to give it to him. It's the truth. Some of those small teams, they destroy the game.
But you could say that. Why doesn't every manager say that?
Please, listen to me. Salernitana, when they play AC Milan, they wasted more than half of the time. There are people clocking all the downtime. Udinese did the same thing with this trophy. A lot of those small teams, a scrappy team, Spezia, Udinese, and all of those things, they just kill the game. They just kill the game in a way that they use as much time as they can until they get in trouble. The referees, they don't show the yellow card to the goalkeeper, to anybody. To take an inbounds, it takes 35 seconds. This is a disgrace.
This is nothing new though, Anto.
It's nothing new, but it has to change. If the people that starting to complain, if I pay the tickets and I want to go to the game and watch the game, I don't want to pay just to watch half a game. I want to go over there to pay at least for 3/4 of the game. Okay? Many times, the people that they pay the tickets, they get disgusted. They go over there and they see this disgusted waste of time. Okay? It's going to end. In England, you don't see that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm saying that. I'm not saying that.
I don't agree
in
with you.
Serie A, only few
teams.
games. In Serie A, only few games.
This happens all the
Serie A,
time.
I
as I
think
said, is
Mourinho
the
does
best
a great
campionato.
job in keeping the focus away from the real issues of the team and making the press and the fans think about other things and not the real
It's a
issues.
tactic.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
just
it is.
Mike,
Right.
being the best
That's right.
campionato Serie
That's
A,
my
it
opinion.
should try to correct this little problem.
I agree with that. I think if you're winning 1-0 and the last 10 minutes of the game, there's too much time wasting, and every time somebody touches somebody, they're on the ground, and if they hit him in the shoulder, they're touching the head. Right. Everybody that goes down to the floor is got their hands to the head. Why? That's why the referee has to stop the game. There was and now I don't remember, but there was a referee a couple of weeks ago, and I don't remember his name. He let everything go, man. They were hitting each other.
We saw it together, I think.
And they just play. Now it's too much. As soon as if you're behind somebody and the guy gets the ball, the guy is gonna fall on the floor because he knows he's gonna get the call. And in Europe, it's not like that. When you play Champions League, it's not like that. So we need to do a better job in Serie A when it comes to wasting time.
The ref, I think, Gatano should give a bunch of yellows, right?
The other thing is, the goalkeeper gets the ball and he holds it for 20 seconds, 25 seconds. If there is a time, I think it's 6 seconds for
you got a yellow card, correct? Or verbal warning and then a yellow card.
So I think they should respect when you do the throw-in too, they walk 10 yards. Then the referee tells me go back 10 yards. Then he gives the ball to somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a disgrace.
once you have the ball in your hand and you want to take the throw in, you should not be allowed to give it to somebody else. You took the ball, you have it in your hand, you take the throw in now. Otherwise, just leave it on the floor because it's wasting of time. There's a few things, and maybe this is for another time, where I would like to talk about all the things that happens, a waste of time. When you go outside of the field, you have to if you're the captain, you have to take the armband. You got to go across, you give it to somebody else.
Seconds at least.
I mean, that's come on. That's and then you go and shake the hands of the referee, and then they shake the hands. No, come on. We want to see action. There have been a lot of games that you score in the last 20 seconds of the game. A lot of games this year. Last 20 seconds, last 30 seconds, Fiorentina. I mean, there's so many games that you can score a goal. So we would like to see a little bit better.
To pick up, just to finish up, Gaetano's got a great point, and then many times the ref, they see that they so blatantly use this kind of a disgraceful action that even though they give 4 minutes extra, 5 minutes extra, they owe the extra 1 minute to 2 minutes to make up.
On top of that, you're saying.
I mean, let's end this one here. Serie A is the best campionato right now.
Unfortunately,
so let's make this adjustment over here.
Unfortunately, I think Serie A still has that mentality of winning, and it's not about the show. The 3 points are more important
It's worth
than
more than
seeing
everything.
something important. That's my opinion, because
That's true.
3
That's true.
points extra can
Help
decide
everything.
whether you go to Serie B or stay Serie A, or go to Champions League or Europa League, win the Scudetto and not win the Scudetto.
Sure.
So everyone tries to use all the methods to their own advantage in order to try to get the 3 points. Even the team that is losing 1-0 and they're trying to attack, and a BS foul gets called outside the box. Why? Because it creates an opportunity on a free kick in order to score, or corner kick, or something like that, in order to score. So everybody tries to use that. It has to be the ref, I think, at this point, by issuing more yellow cards, more warnings.
I agree.
And of course, you got to add more time to the clock.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Well said on that, Ludo. I want to talk a little bit about Lazio versus Venezia. Lazio won 1-0. The big storyline here is Immobile scored the winning penalty. So he's not only the capocannoniere currently in the Serie A with 21 goals, 1 goal over Dusan Vlahovic, but Immobile right now is Lazio's all-time leading goal scorer in Serie A, beating Silvio Piola. Immobile has 144 goals. Piola has 143, and Beppe Signori has 107 goals. So Immobile, when he retires, it seems like he's gonna retiring with Lazio because all the fans love him. This guy cannot stop scoring for them. It's only a matter of time till how many goals could he reach that 200 mark, and he's already written in Lazio's history, which is great, especially because he's been in so many different clubs. He couldn't really find his right spot, and it's nice to see that he loves his club and he's given his all, and he feels at home over here.
All right, boys. Manscaped is back sponsoring our IFTV podcast, and we got you covered. Use code IFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. It is as simple as that. We are getting down to the wire of getting the Scudetto. Mike, do you know what Scudetto champions do?
Tell us, Marco.
They take care of their body because they are champions. Guys, be a champion. Be a Scudetto champion. Get yourself the new Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. I'm using it all the time, even throughout winter. I do not care. I always keep myself nice and clean.
There we
and
go.
even Michael, I compliment you every once in a while. You've gotten in better shape. I see the comments like, oh, look at his biceps. He's looking good. He's thinned out. You know, if you shave down now your chest, your stomach, you're going to look more ripped.
I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't done anything differently. I was just using Manscaped.
So you don't have to work out.
I mean, I haven't ran a single mile, to be honest. Manscaped's
Wise.
making me look jacked over here, looking at me in better shape. But regardless, since we do have this amazing partnership, I have been using Manscaped a lot more, and it does make a huge difference. And there's a bunch of new features that I do like. The skin safe technology is definitely one, because let's be honest, we all have those incidents incidents that we never want to talk about, but it happens.
You mentioned those a lot.
Exactly. But Manscaped, it hasn't happened once, and I'm so happy with it. And let's not forget, you could do this in the shower, clean, safe, everything goes down the drain. You could forget about it, and
You
it's
should probably
just
clean out
that
your drain, Mike.
easy. Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it works like that.
So far, it's pretty good. And it also has a flashlight attached to it, so you can get every little hair, Marco. It does not mess around here. And another thing that I didn't think I needed, the crop preserver ball deodorant. I didn't think I needed. I thought I just needed like a cologne for my wrist, my neck, and I was good. But dude, I used this, and it was one of those things that it's like you never knew you needed till you used it.
There we go.
So incredible stuff.
And the 4th generation performance package from Manscaped is here. It's a perfect combination for everything that Manscaped has. Guys, again, 20% off plus free shipping using code IFTV.
Can't
It
beat
is
that.
that simple. The link is in the top of the description. One more time, 20% off free shipping code IFTV. They are supporting us. Guys, go on and support them. It's such an easy gift to give to any of your friends. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
Who wants to start on Lazio?
Lazio, we were all complaining. That's why, like, obviously our jobs is to report and be able to, identify what we'd like or don't like. But Lazio, Sarri, we were complaining, oh, Sarri, what is going on? What is going on? Meanwhile, Lazio, they're in a good position, I think. If you look at the standings now, I would have never put them ahead of a Juventus, ahead of Milan, Inter, Napoli, and so on. So even Atalanta. So they're right in the right
They're
position.
in 5th place right
yeah,
now.
they're right in the right position to be able to
It takes time.
potentially do something. Yeah,
for the
sure.
Sarri, it takes time for that type of play to go into effect. Again, Sarri, Napoli start. No, you're not going to see that again. It cannot be. Whatever happened in Napoli, it happened. You're not going to see that again. That style of play, based on those plays, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But at least now he has the players on his side, and you're able.
Exactly. I think the biggest thing was the whole Luis Alberto,
Correct.
Milenkovic-Savic. Now
Yeah.
they're playing together. They're looking good. Defensively, they're still laboring. But now with Acerbi back, obviously it was versus Venezia. But Acerbi makes a big difference in that center-back position for Lazio. I think they were lacking that quality in the back. And Immobile, the Italian national team should maybe change their jersey to a light blue, a celeste,
Bianco
because
celeste.
this guy in the Lazio jersey, he scores goals left and right. Napoli still struggles. But this is the guy that I think, I don't want to jump into the Italy discussion, but unfortunately, this is the guy that, unfortunately in my sense, because I'm not a big Ciro Immobile fan, but he scores goals. So
in Serie A, but he chokes.
I know,
In
but
when it comes
but
to
the thing
national
is, we don't have anybody
let's
that
hope he's
scores
gonna-
21 goals
That's
and
true.
plus
That's true.
every season.
You're right.
Every season he scores those goals.
He's consistent.
So he's got to be able to find the net with the Italian national team. That's my only complaint in Immobile. Hopefully, these 2 games or games that we have with Italy will see something different.
Would you
but
stick your neck out
for
to
him,
put him in? Yeah.
yes.
I would.
Wow. So if something goes wrong, I'm going to just get your neck. I'm going to choke you.
Wow.
We just hope that the Italian national team will get to March 24th in shape. That players are in shape, they're running, and then you wish for the best. What can you do? I mean, anything can happen.
Well
I have
said.
not much to say about Lazio because I didn't see the game. I was working, and but I trust your expertise, and I'm not that high about Sarri because I was never high. I never believed that he invented anything. I mean, in Napoli it was a miracle what he was able not to do, not to accomplish, because he had the player to win the campionato.
Most
he
points
never used
in
them.
Napoli history.
He never used the player the proper way, and it went up costing Napoli the campionato. So, but aside from that, I don't know.
those are
I
other
think
issues.
I don't. Yeah.
Ludo, I just want to say quickly, do you think there was it was more rocky waters in the beginning for Lazio? Do you think within a few more months we're going to see more of positive Sarri play, and this is the coach that Lazio do need?
I think we will, because number one, he has the blessing from Lotito. Even though they're in talks of resigning, extending the contract, it hasn't happened yet, and we know how Lotito is. I think it will happen if Lazio will qualify for Europa League. At least then I think the contract will be extended. What happens at the beginning with Sarri is the players have complained about him that his drills, practices are very, very repetitive. And players get tired of doing the same thing over and over again because he has those concepts and that style of play that the players, they stop following him. It happened in Chelsea also. And then all of a sudden in January, things started turning for the good. But you always need a couple of people, a couple of players in the locker room that are real leaders and say, guys, let's follow him. Let's listen to him and let's see what happens until May/June, what happens. And that's what's been happening, like Peter said, with both players that were not on his side. And then now they started playing and the team is running. And it's a joy to see Lazio play the past 8-9 games.
I agree.
They
Even
started playing well.
the way that they play, you see Sarri's influence.
His ideas.
You don't want to say Sarri ball, but his influence is definitely involved in this Lazio team. Where, yes, under Inzaghi, they played good football and they scored a lot of goals, but they didn't have the same type of, style of play, right? Geometry that you see in a Sarri, where it's
the triangles,
1-2, and then that long ball across. And listen, Lazio always had a great midfield. Sarri obviously still has to put pen to paper to renew. I think he might come, across other difficulties if he does stay on with Lazio, because it comes down to the transfer market. There's certain players that maybe were there for a long time and maybe need to make a next move. But I think Sarri, having already the fundamental players and his first year in the books, I think he could always do better in the second year for his teams.
I don't have much to add, so I'm going to be real quick. But at the beginning of the season, I thought that's where they were going to be, or a little bit higher. Because of what? Because of the midfield that they have. They have one of the best midfielders in Italy. And you have Immobile, there's the leading scorer. So I thought they would even be a little bit better than this.
It's still time, though.
And I get messages from Lazio fans that say, today we're going to win 5-0. Well, they won 1-0. I didn't see the game, but they won 1-0.
But remember also, Inzaghi left overnight.
Yeah, that's true.
Inzaghi left overnight. You really didn't have time to let's say have
options.
make options, decisions
No,
on
that's true.
the
That's a good
market.
point.
I mean, overnight, Inter spot open, Inzaghi left. Now I need a coach.
Well, you can say then again the same thing about Inter. Inter didn't have much time to prepare because Inzaghi arrived.
No, I think that was Marotta, thing. But also about Sarri. Sarri is he's 60, 61? Sarri's never been about the money. Sarri loves to coach. For Sarri, not a problem that, for example, Lolito said, okay, Sarri, I don't need you anymore. Okay, goodbye. He'll go back to Serie C. Yeah. He'll go back to Serie B.
He actually loves the game.
He loves the game. He loves to coach. He never forgets where he came from. Remember, he was a bank teller.
Yeah, that's right.
In the young days. So it doesn't, for him, he could go to Serie C, Serie B. Not a problem.
Well,
it's not about the money.
It doesn't matter if you're in Serie C, in Serie B, in Serie A. You can still take your notes.
Yeah.
That's why he's so organized.
That's why he was a bank teller, Gaetano. He had to write everything down. That's what the bank tellers do. In Italy, listen to me. In Italy, if you go to a bank and you have to just deposit a check or just get some money, you have to go over there, go through the revolving door, just put the code, sit down, and then the signorina is going to call you. Che numero ha lei? What number you have? Then you're going to go sit down, porta libretto.
He was a bank manager.
I'm telling you, porta libretto. You have to show them.
You're talking about the bank 50 years ago.
No, now.
There's no more libretto.
Are you
There's still libretto
now?
Wow.
I have an
You
account
don't
in
have
Italy.
Maybe
Hello, Paisa, I have an account in Italy. I'm telling you right now.
Still with the libretto?
Still what they do, yes.
Wow.
Yes. They do the estratto
No
conto.
online banking?
There is an online. No.
In Bari, online banking. Are you kidding me?
There is
no internet.
There is an estratto
I thought I had to
conto.
say Ludo.
And one other thing.
Yeah.
They have to make a photocopy of the $100 bill.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
And then
I swear.
they examine the $100 bill. If there is a little
Right.
pen,
They don't take
a
it.
little
No,
bit,
I can't take
they
it.
don't take it.
Wow, has to be crisp,
Then
huh?
Paranoid, I'm telling you.
Imagine if you have $1,000. Then every photocopy, they have to put the bank number the account
And
number
the serial number of the
I said, on
the
each
bar- the-
photocopy, because if this $100 should come back, then they know. And if I don't have a bank, I have to go get a friend who's got a bank book, and then in case the $100 is no good, they're going to take it out of my friend's account.
Wow.
Yeah, let me
That's
tell you
crazy.
something.
All right.
All right, let's
go.
Okay,
Let's go.
so now we know what Sarri is all about. It, okay?
Exactly.
Now
Let's
you know the secret.
But speaking of Sarri, we do have to talk about his former team, which is Napoli. So Ludo's favorite part of the thing. I like how Ludo's humble about it. But Ludo, you guys got a huge, not only result on paper, but huge psychological 2-1 win versus Verona. And we remember from last week, you did say the game against Verona is going to be even tougher against the game against Milan, just to show if they can come back and recuperate their mentality to show that maybe we could still fight for the Scudetto. And I think even though it was only 2-1, Napoli convinced me. They got a convincing win. Osimhen got 2 goals. They pretty much dominated the game. They had a lot of chances.
He has 9 goals this season, correct? 9 goals.
Serie A goals.
He has 9 Serie A goals, no penalties.
Yeah, no penalties. Yeah, exactly. So Osimhen is looking good. Faraone did get a 75th minute goal, so it did. I'm sure it made you and a bunch of other Napolitani sweat the last 15 minutes. But regardless of that, Napoli played great. And Ludo, I just wanted to say, did this win surprise you? What were your thoughts going into this game and getting the 3 points now? You're only 3 points below Milan, the leaders, and there's still 9 games left. Does this change anything for you?
First of all, I want to thank Mr. Spalletti for listening to the podcast last week.
He definitely listened.
And he took our
advice. Your advice.
No, all of us.
Mostly yours.
Advice and changed the cards around. Yes, I was scared to play against Verona. Let's not forget that Verona is always an hostile environment.
And gives Napoli a lot of trouble usually.
Yeah, it gives a lot. No, we cannot forget the last game of the season last year that we tied 1-1. It's not an easy team to play against, just like Torino, more or less the same style. Even though Verona did have a few players out, did not have a complete roster. But let's not forget that Verona has 3 players, goal scorers in the double digits.
That's right.
3 players. That's not easy to...
They're versatile. They
Right.
don't depend
And
on one
Napoli
person.
held them to 1 shot in 90 minutes. 3 players in double digits, 1 shot in 90 minutes.
They played them well.
So it took Spalletti 4 games that we were suffocated for 4 games to realize to change the formation to a 4-3-3 and give support to Osimhen and rely more not on the horizontal but on the vertical style of play, making the ball runs, relying on the wings
and breaking the lines.
and breaking the line. So now Osimhen has more players close to him
For support.
that he could have support and a tactical dialogue with. I strongly believe Osimhen, with this formation, can score at least between 8 and 10 goals until the end of the season. That's without penalties.
Wow.
He could finish if he keeps. Now, having Anguissa there in the middle, Lobotka being the player to distribute.
distributor.
Now you have a body, you have meat in the middle, like Anguissa. Fabian Ruiz playing up a little bit in his natural role that he plays with Spain, and then you have Politano and Lozano on the left, which they did provide a little bit more freshness, and then finally he had the attributes to leave out Zielinski and Insigne, which we also spoke about this last week. You win by putting in the right players, not the names.
Exactly.
And right now, Zielinski and Insigne deserve to be on the bench for a couple of games. They need to relax, recharge their batteries. Zielinski's not in shape. Insigne, I feel like his injuries and his lack of, I think they're excuses, because he's not in shape. So, a little bit of pain here, a little bit of pain there. He's probably thinking about the national team. I don't know, but there's something strange going on there. But he finally had the courage after 4 games to sit certain players and put the players in and bringing the team. Because remember, the last 4 games, the opposing team, they were suffocating Napoli. They were pressuring them really high that Napoli could not get out from the, playing from the back.
Yeah.
So now Napoli is more compact, and the maneuver is more fluid by playing more vertical calcio and not the way they played the last 4 games.
I mean, to be fair with Spalletti also, I mean, obviously there's a level of stubbornness to keep the same formation that has been doing so well up until, the 4 games that you said that he should have changed maybe to a 4-3-3. I think also, for a while, Lozano just recently came back, right?
Yes.
Politano just recently came back.
Well, now you have everyone
so
back.
So now you're back. Now you can maybe make these changes that you want. And I think Anguissa, he's been a fantastic signing, but he is... there's no other player in Napoli's team that has the same qualities of Anguissa as far as his big physical presence that can win the ball and can take care of maybe the defensive duties of other players. Fabian Ruiz, for example, playing in this 4-3-3, Ruiz has more freedom now, knowing that he has his support in the back. So it changes a lot of the, these little things,
dynamics,
these details, dynamics
of the team. You have more options.
Exactly.
You have more options now, and I believe now the roster is back. Let's hope no one will get
injured. Or
will get injured. I still don't believe we are a Scudetto caliber team. I think the mentality still has to change. Right now, personally, I'm still looking at the 5th place team and not who's in front of me. The 5th place team, which is 11 points away. And I strongly believe in a Champions League spot. But what Spalletti did last Sunday, the change of formation and the changing of men, he has to do it often. He has to continue. And I'm just surprised it took so long for him to realize that was the right decision to make.
Ludo,
That's not what you said to me on the car. Hold on.
I just want to jump in really quickly and just say, Ludo, even though Spalletti now, it seems like he's an IFTV follower, watching the podcast.
I hope he's watching tonight.
I think you will, and you're his lucky charm now. But being only 3, I think you guys already locked top 4. Let's say straight. Being only 3 points away, being you guys have a full roster at your disposal, being that there's only 9 games left. I know you said that, maybe, I don't know if you're being superstitious or anything.
That's what he does.
Don't you reconsider this? It's literally, if a couple of points are dropped from Milan or Inter, you guys are right. You guys are right in more than striking distance. You don't think based on this Verona win, this comeback, convincing win, plus the roster, plus Spalletti as a new coach, bringing a new mentality. I want you to look in the camera to all the Napoli fans.
I will look at all the Napoli and I will sit in and I will say this. Just look at during the season, Napoli, how inconsistent.
This is a different time. This is the last 9 games.
No, it's not different time. It changes. It takes time for this to change.
But it's the last 9 games.
Look at the points that we lost. Home against Spezia.
But that's every
Empoli.
team. But that's every
then
team.
Then you win against Milan away.
Mike,
then the following game you lose. Then you win and then you lose.
This is a different time. This is 9 finals.
You need to be consistent.
I will answer that question.
Okay, go
because
Ludo's very super. He doesn't want to say anything. The S word.
I will answer the question.
I am keeping my mouth shut because if I tell you what he told me on the car, you're not going to believe me. So anyway, just go ahead.
So if what Ludo said is that it took him 4 games to make the changes.
Yeah.
Usually the coaches, they make changes during the game to change the game. You could change 5 players. You can really change the game. So if it's going to take him now another 4 games to make a change, by the time he makes 2 changes, the season is over. So that's why I don't see Napoli winning the Scudetto.
I'll tell you why. I disagree with you 100%. And I'll tell you the reasons why. I see Napoli, they have a roster and they have a squad even though not having a very, very deep bench, that they got quality on every position.
They have a deep bench.
Defensively, they are very, very hard to break down. The midfield, I can compare it even with the Lazio midfield, is one of the best that they have in Italy. And the forward line, taking away Insigne, which I was never big about Insigne, the forward line is kind of scary. Okay? He's got this Ozyman. This guy here runs twice as fast as anybody in Serie A. So it's the other, like the player that Roma has. What's his name?
Tammy.
Yes. So this guy here, it's very difficult to figure it out. I think they are equipped, if they actually believe it, to take the campionato.
So I have a question for all of you, and just one word. Don't give me because we're running late. Okay.
I'm trying to be nice with you. Okay. You owe me.
I'm realistic. Listen.
All right. Who's the leader of Napoli?
The leader of Napoli, for me, I think is Koulibaly.
Who's the leader of Napoli?
I will agree with him.
Ludo, who's the leader?
Me personally, I think it's Ospina, to be honest.
Okay.
Koulibaly for me.
Okay. I think that the only leader that could be there, it's either Ospina or Koulibaly. But do they have what it takes in the locker room to grab them and say, hey, I don't know if he has that. I don't know Koulibaly.
But he just won with this with Senegal. But
I don't know Senegal, who's the leader of Senegal. But you need somebody that when you have to raise your voice in the locker room, everybody has to listen and everybody's got to keep quiet. And sometimes you got to push players around. Is he that kind of player? I don't know.
I think they are. I think Ospina and Koulibaly, they are those type of players. But also, other players need to understand that it's the team that wins as a unit and not the individual players. If you have players like Zielinski, that they have been in Napoli and Insigne for many years, they're going to be selfish. Then of course you're not going to have an understanding in the locker room. So they also need to understand. Listen. This guy can do better than me. He can contribute more than I can. He should start. But it's the coach, the way he communicates to the players to put his foot down and say, listen, we tried it this way. It's not working. We need to change that.
That we understand. But you need somebody in the locker room, like an Ibra. Like I read the book of Pirlo. They were not afraid of the coach. They were afraid of Gattuso. Gattuso would break their legs if they were not playing good when they got to the locker room. He would grab them and put them against the wall if they were not playing good. But Milan had a lot of leaders at that time, but Gattuso was one of them. And I think Ibra is one of those players that if you don't play and if you don't perform even in practice,
not even on the bench. That's why Ibra on the bench is always.
He will come after you.
I think Ospina and Koulibaly.
You think to that extent, though, Ludo? You think?
Yes, I think to that extent because it showed the way Napoli played Sunday.
Ludo.
I don't see
approach.
Because you know what? I don't see that because I don't see them on the field. I listened to Marco. He was by the sideline on the game in Milano against Napoli.
When Napoli played against AC Milan.
He said that Giroud was screaming so hard that he couldn't believe how he was screaming to the players, to win that game. There was Giroud and he said somebody else. I don't remember who was the other player, but Giroud for sure. And Ibra would be one of those players. I don't see anybody from Napoli doing that on the field.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. Let's hope that's going to change. And I'm looking forward to the Udinese game to see a more consistent Napoli. Because after Udinese, we have Atalanta, which is another tough game. One game at a time. Let's see what happens on Saturday.
We're gonna get to that. So
I want to talk to Peter. What do you think?
I just wanted to mention. I think this leader, maybe he's not ready right now, but Osimhen has that hungry approach. When you see him play, he's foaming at the mouth.
It reminds me of Cavani.
He's willing to.
I agree with that.
So he's got to really step up. And then I have to say, if you're saying Osimhen's going to score 8 to 10 goals from now until the end of the season,
then Insigne
Napoli is there for the Scudetto then.
No, it's true though. But you have more hopes than Ludo for the Scudetto. Than
If he's getting 10 goals in 9 games, something's got to be working.
And also, Insigne's got to step up also as the captain.
Not according to your stats over there.
I'm going based on his notes. I'm based on what he said.
Insigne, on a part-time basis, I do see him. He needs to get into shape. He is not in the shape
mentally. He has to get
currently.
into shape.
I think Politano had a great game. Di Lorenzo is coming back. Mario Rui.
You see,
he's an okay fullback. The only thing with Mario Rui is too short to be a fullback, and that's why the guy scored on him with an header. That's the problems we.
Your fullbacks have always been the problem since Gulam has gotten injured. Di Lorenzo has been playing,
but not this.
But he had a month of January, which was not. But now he's back.
And
that's good also for the national team.
But I would just say with Insigne, I think who is gonna be that person, right, in that locker room also has to be Spalletti and Insigne. I'll explain to you why. Because Spalletti has to be able to get to Insigne. Insigne is going to play a fundamental role here because he knows what he's going to be doing in 3 months. He's gone. This is his last rodeo in Napoli.
To do something.
So Spalletti's got to have to find the words to be able to motivate Insigne to the max. This is your last time. You have an opportunity of a lifetime
to give a gift
with the Maradonas of Napoli, right? To
be
with the legends.
The winner of the third blah, blah, blah.
Okay?
Right.
So that's, I think,
Spalletti. I don't say the word.
Spalletti, if he can get to Insigne, Napoli are right there.
I think he did.
You guys are watching too many cartoons.
When I saw Insigne come in last Sunday, the last 25 minutes, he tried very hard. Yeah. He was running his ass off. He was coming back. He was trying to do his best. But the thing is, having Zielinski and Insigne on the field and doing that tic-a-tac, it's not working because these guys, the opposing team, they suffocate you and they're not in shape to do the tic-tac. It's not working. In order to do the old style of Napoli, like the first 8 games when we were undefeated, 11 players on the pitch have to be in tip-top shape. Now you're flying on the field. You are flying. But now you can't do that anymore. So you have to rely more on the vertical style of play. And that's why Zielinski and Insigne, at the moment, they need to be on the bench.
Let's move on. Can I finish and then that's it? Spalletti, I don't think Spalletti's got the leadership quality to bring Napoli to the. I hope I'm wrong because I want Napoli to win. To bring Napoli to that stuff. He's never been a winner. Maybe won once in Ukraine or whatever it was over there. Russia, whatever. But that's Spalletti. He's been known just to be on the top of 4 or 5 spots, and that's it. This is the only thing that worries me about Napoli. All the rest of the team, I like it. So let's move on.
Yeah. Worry about your problems in your own time.
I am.
Exactly. So moving on to the next game, we got to talk about Pete's team, and it ended.
I thought you said pizza team.
Pizza team.
They look like a pizza team.
Torino versus Inter. And I got to say straight, I think Torino deserved to get the 3 points. Before I'm even opening this up, Torino played so well. Juric knows how to play organized football. Coming into this match, we knew that Brozovic and De Vrij were not going to be available. And if you didn't already know how good Brozovic was, you do after this game. Because he does so much dirty work that goes unnoticed. And I think Torino was all over Inter. Me and Anto were watching the game and we were saying, wow, they're pressing. And we were saying, how long could they keep this up? How long could this keep 60th minute, 65th minute, 70th minute, 80th minute? It was like, wow, these guys are pressing. But surely enough, Inter were still knocking on the door until the last second. And Sanchez, super sub, got an incredible goal from Dzeko. Beautiful one-time pass, and he was completely by himself. Hats out to Berisha, who had a great game also, made 2-3 spectacular saves. But regardless of that, there has been a lot of controversy on if Ranocchia did foul Belotti. And I saw this replay probably 2,000 times. To me, I thought it was a stone cold penalty. We're not going to say if it was going to be a goal or not.
I think 7 billion people saw it.
I think
even at 2 years old, they will have given that.
But regardless, I think it was a penalty. We'll go around. We'll maybe talk about other stuff other than that. But I think regardless of the decision of not giving it, Torino played great. They had a few other 2 chances that we couldn't believe that it couldn't go in the net. Not saying Inter didn't, but Torino were there. I think they were hungrier. They were playing in Torino, which I think was a major factor over there. And I think they gave the game to Inter. I have a stat here, which is really concerning. Inter have only won 2 games in their past 8 Serie A games. The reigning champions are doing this with only, well, now they have 10 games left in crunch time. And this says, I'm not sure if this says more about Inzaghi, if this says more about the team, but to me, it seems like Inter are kind of crumbling, and they haven't really found the way to get out of that murky water. At first, you're like, oh, it's only going to be a few weeks and they'll be back. But it's been more than a few weeks, and I think they're still in that run.
A mid-table team.
Look at him.
Easy. No, I think since
really
Christmas
excited.
they've been a mid-table team.
So
But
since
points-wise.
I just want to say quickly, they've been very lackluster. Their goal scoring hasn't been consistent, and right now the Scudetto is out of their hands because they gotta hope that Milan slips up. Before, if they won all their games, they're good. Now they gotta win their games and hope that Milan go through. So Milan are in the driving seat.
Listen to me. First of all, before you give anybody, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Do it live in front of everybody. That penalty was a penalty. Okay, so you took 2 points away. Not you. I mean, of course, Inter and you did actually. Look at you.
Forget
You're
about
very
the
happy.
penalty. How about the rest?
Just apologize in front of everybody, in front of all the IFTV fans, and say, listen, we did take 2 points away from Torino. And that's it. It's a disgrace.
But you gotta apologize to Napoli too for the penalty not given.
It's a disgrace.
Oh,
Whoa, take it easy.
I was just about to respond to you because
don't. We're talking about
every
Inter
game,
right now.
Every game, especially the top teams, they always get away with a little something. So there's
I have
always
a
the
list.
opportunity.
I have a
balance
list.
everything.
I
You
have
have
a
a
list
list.
how many times AC
Make
Milan
sure
has
you-
been wronged
Yeah.
by the refs this year. I'm not going to say that. It's
Alright.
water under the bridge.
We
Go ahead,
leave,
Gaetano.
Anyway.
we leave,
So apologize, Pete.
we leave.
All I'll say is,
Say
I
you're
don't
sorry.
know. No, I'm not gonna say sorry.
Oh,
but
you see?
I don't know how the ref did not call it a penalty
That was crazy.
after a VAR review. The only thing I can say, playing devil's advocate, was Belotti made an absolute meal of it. But even in that case,
hit 100%
you see
though.
the contact.
Yeah.
It's a penalty.
It's
a penalty.
that penalty is as big as Antonio's house that he owns in Italy. That's how big. The
How big is
penalty
your house?
Not that big.
I gotta come visit. But Peter, overall, what you think of the match
leave,
going into it?
leave Pete for last.
You want
Yeah.
Pete last?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, Gaetano,
People
just go
less.
torture him.
So,
Come on.
if you go back in the last 8 games, like Mike was saying,
Yeah.
I mean, Inter has not been that good. And if you go back to the beginning of February when you played AC Milan and you were winning 1-0 for 75 minutes, you win that game. You know, you could have been 10 points up.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
And now they gotta hope that Milan,
There was a really
mess up.
crucial game. 75 minutes, you're winning 1-0, and then Giroud did the job. Anyway, as far as the penalty is concerned, it's definitely a penalty.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I could understand that the referee did not see it, but if you're in the VAR room
You gotta spot
and
that.
you look at it, how can you not call it? I mean, it is unbelievable. So, I will say it now that for the future, you have to give the option to the coach to make the call. Maybe you give it 1 for the first half and 1 for the second half. The coach should be able to challenge it and say, hey, go review this. I want to review this. And the other thing would have been, how can this referee, but how can they explain it? I would like to to talk to the guy in the bar room and say, explain it to me.
Put him
How
on a
can-
live mic,
How can
Gaetano.
this one not be a penalty? It is unbelievable. But it's not the first time. It has happened before.
to all the teams.
Yes, it happened with Osimhen against AC Milan. I mean, that was a penalty too. So it happens often. But that one was not as clear as this one. This one, it was like unbelievable clear. That is.
I was surprised.
I think number one, I think they should make public the discussion between the referee
On a live mic.
and
said
the VAR.
that. We
And
said
the VAR.
this.
No, not live.
Like on the football, American
No.
football.
Even after you can make
No,
it.
during the game. I'm watching the
after.
game now. I
But
want
they
to
should
know.
make it, that should be whatever discussion is happening between the VAR room and the referee. I think that should be made, public. Number one. Number two, I believe Guida and Massa, they both got suspended for 4 weeks for what happened yesterday. Number two.
That's
Number
those
three is,
reports.
I believe, and I hope I'm not wrong, the protocol is that a ref cannot say, oh, I'm going to come and look at the VAR. It's the VAR that has to call the referee and say, go watch it. But the referee does not have the authority to say, wait a minute, I don't like what you're saying to me. Let me go look at it. No, it's the VAR that calls the ref. The ref does not have.
So it's against the rule to do that?
Yes.
To take the initiative to go
Yes.
watch it?
So
See, I wasn't aware of that, Gaetano. What do you think?
The referee cannot take in his own hand the decision to say, oh, let me go. I don't care what you're telling me from the VAR. I want to go see it because I'm on the side.
But
you cannot say that.
But if the referee didn't see it, if he didn't call it, that means he didn't see anything.
No.
Okay.
But
So
even-
maybe it was not
even on
maybe
the doubt, Gaetano. Why shouldn't I have the
but
authority
maybe there
as
was
a ref to
I
go
don't know
see
the
it? But
position.
the VAR has to call.
Maybe there was a player in front of him. Maybe he was too far. Maybe he turned around for a second. He didn't see it. Okay, so I cannot go see it if I think there is nothing.
He was behind too. He couldn't see it.
Yeah,
No,
the VAR.
what
The
he's
VAR.
I think he
claiming
was
is-
close
He's
to the
claiming
play.
is he couldn't even go to see because the VAR is the one that's already telling him.
If it was or
Right.
not.
Penalty or no
the
penalty?
VAR calls the ref, okay, go see
check.
it. But the ref does not have the authority to say, listen, I don't care what you're telling me. I want to go see it
Yeah,
anyway.
I get what you're
I
saying.
think that protocol should be implemented.
Okay. That's
On a third note, I think Inter, since December, January, I mean the Christmas, January, they're a middle tier team, meaning in points. I think 15 points only
Yeah.
in the past, I don't know how many games. Inter relies a lot on Brozovic, meaning
Too
as
much.
being the regista. And I think Inzaghi also had a little bit to do with it. You know, you're trying to make Barella the regista. It probably can happen. Barella can be a regista. He's young, but it's going to take years for him to
develop into that.
adapt and develop to a new position. But doing it on the fly, you can. And then the bench of Inter, meaning, okay, you have Sanchez and you have Vidal, but for certain positions. But when you got a guy like Vecino to replace, I don't think.
Ludo, why never
Apples and
takes away
oranges.
Zeko? Why never takes away Zeko? He never subs Zeko.
His head. He's there because of his head.
Oh, yeah, that's it?
That's it.
So he takes Lautaro out, he takes everybody out.
He's there because of his head. Because a cross, a corner kick, the guy can rise to the occasion and head the ball in. He's there because of his height. He's there. But that's the thing about they lost that lightness of playing the way that they used to.
They look
And
pressure
Brozovic,
now.
yeah, Brozovic is very important to that team. And yesterday you saw that that missing player, what he
for
does
sure.
to the midfield of.
It's completely
of,
different when he's there and not there.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, and Barella cannot do what Brozovic can do at the moment. Maybe in the future, yes, but not at the moment.
Peter, I wanted to ask you, how are you nervous now? In the sense that, wow, if it's not in our hands anymore. Like before, it was always in your hands. We gotta keep it. Now you gotta win and hope that Milan loses. Now, is there any fear in that, or just you guys are in a rut? Are you scared because Inzaghi never won a Scudetto? Could he do it? Is he cracking under pressure?
Also, they
do
played
you
against
think about
Liverpool.
that?
We got to give them that. They
Yeah.
also played against
Yeah,
Liverpool
that's
during
true.
the
Playing
week.
Champions League,
I
yeah.
mean, they didn't play against a Mickey
No,
Mouse
you're
team.
right.
They played against Liverpool, so it's not.
Good point.
Yeah. Listen, I think you're missing two start. Okay, so to answer your question, am I nervous?
Yeah.
What's going on? I think from
Say
now,
yes or no.
No,
First.
I'm not.
Oh,
No.
he's not nervous.
I'm not nervous.
That's it, Mike.
The reason why is because there's points to be had. Well, we're not towards the end of the season where it's 3-4 games left, and now there's this frantic understanding. What I am upset about is the way that we've been playing, is the approach to games, is the 2 wins in 8 games. That's a problem, and the problem stems from a mix of things, which is one, the leaders not taking charge of this team, responsibility of this team. The players that were on fire in the beginning of the season have dipped. And Inzaghi, consistently with his changes, with his substitutes, for me, leaves me pondering, leaves me questioning why, like you said, why is Zeko playing every game? Mm-hmm. Guy is 35 years old. And I agree with Ludo. It's because he gives that advantage in crosses. The way that Inter plays a lot heavy on crosses, and they need that presence as the number 9. But that goes as a fault on Inter, because this is now, even prior to Zeko, when Lukaku was there, we never had that second or Vice Lukaku, Vice Dzeko. So we don't have somebody that can replace
A big man.
yeah, that target striker to replace. We got Caicedo. He's only played 5 minutes since January. This is a problem. And now, when you take out Brozovic, right, we do not have any quality players on this bench. I said it over and over again, and I know I'm talking about the midfield. I'm talking about the midfield. I'm talking about the midfield. Quality players, meaning guys that can create, okay? Vecino, not that guy. Gagliardini, not that guy. Vidal, not that guy. So who's coming off the bench in the midfield that's going to be able to up the quality or make a little bit of a spark that can take a man on?
It was Sensi, but you guys shipped him off.
Yeah, so Sensi, unfortunately, because of injuries, because of lack of playing time, because of many things, he wasn't that guy. Maybe he could have been, but we lost that touch.
A lot of responsibilities on Barella's shoulders.
Yeah,
also.
and Barella.
a little too much.
So
maybe.
what I see is that they are feeling the pressure as a team. They're feeling the pressure with all the news and with everything going on. They see Milan are scrapping away with the win. You know, Juventus is scrapping away with the win. Inter struggle to score. We're at a point where we struggle to score. Aside from that 5-0 win versus Salernitana, we missed so many chances.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, listen, Torino played a fantastic game. Yeah. Juric, the way that they make him, he makes this Torino team play, especially versus the top teams. The high pressing, the ability to move the ball, you know, very, very good style of play. And they combat. That's the hardest thing. They physically, they can really take a lot out of the opponent. And, you know, but Inter, we missed so many chances. Dzeko, in front of the goal, heads the ball over the post. Dzeko, alone, heads the ball to the side.
It's like
Dzeko,
on Sunday morning.
How many times he gets the ball? He kicks
What's
and
the
he
difference
loses the
between
ball.
me and Dzeko? There's
So
no difference.
it's like there's so
Dzeko
many
gets
chances.
paid more money than you do.
Yeah, that's the difference. So you cannot be a number 9 and have 5 or 6 chances and you only finish 1 or you finish 0. Because that's what happened yesterday.
But
you had to wait till Sanchez to come in. And then even for me, I mean, I don't want to be picky on why you play this player, why you play that player. But Ranocchia has never been the defender to come in, right? Maybe with Belotti is a big target number 9. He can maneuver him a little bit. But D'Ambrosio could have been that guy. Maybe Di Marco could have been that guy. And you move Bastoni in as that third defender, adding a little bit more quality into that third defender that we need. But definitely, Brozovic is so vital for this Inter team. Without him, this Inter team looks suffocated and they don't know how to move the ball.
I think next week is a big test for you guys. You're playing against a team that will run coast to coast. And I think that's a big test. You don't have Champions League anymore. That's out of the question. Now you need to regroup mentally and physically. You have a week to get ready because that's going to be a big test. Yeah. That will tell us a lot. Next week's game, Fiorentina against Inter, that will tell us a lot. The status
I got a
of,
good question
Inter.
for the maestro here, for Gaetano. Gaetano, if Spalletti can go for a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3, why can Inzaghi go with change the formation instead of this 3-5-2, just to put a 4-4-2 over there and just have the more.
You don't have the wings that Napoli has.
Well, wait a moment. What you thought? Di Marco is a good wing. We were just saying about Di Marco.
I don't think that's.
Di Marco's been playing center back too recently.
Listen, I'm telling you, you have the ability.
You probably would have to put Perisic on one side. Now you got Gosens.
Yeah,
Gosens on the other side. I don't know that. You know, they have those 2 guys up front that he counts a lot on Lautaro.
And Dzeko, yeah.
You would have to take one of them out.
Yeah, but
if you go on the 4-3-3.
No. Oh, 4-4-2. Just leave them in. Or it's 4-4-2. Lautaro and Dzeko just to play right next to the other.
4-3-3.
Oh, 4-3-3, sure.
I don't know, you would have to... Yeah, I mean, at one point, all the coaches, they tried different things. But it took... Spalletti 4 weeks to make a change, so maybe he's going to take Inzaghi.
I think it took him to watch a podcast finally after 8 months.
Maybe it's going to take him 4 months to make the change.
So the ability to change on the fly for Inter does not exist right now.
He's done it once with the Sassuolo game when Inter were down 2-0. He threw in the third striker, and there we had maybe 10 chances. Lautaro missing a wide open net. So it comes down to also. I mean, I can criticize Inzaghi for
a certain
approach to the games, where we see that Sassuolo, where Inter came out absolutely flat. I can criticize him for some of the subs that he makes because it's always seems to be the same guys, or he takes out the guy, like you said, who has the yellow card instead of maybe the guy that should come out. So, like that, I can criticize. But Lautaro, you have to score. You have to find a way to score because that is your job, and he hasn't been able to do it, consistently. I'm sorry.
The last few games he came through. Anyway, I want to read something quickly. What Sacchi said about this morning. If Milan wins, it will be something spectacular. But Inzaghi, he's been squeezed like a lemon.
He's listening to the podcast also.
A lot of pressure on them.
That's great.
Sacchi.
There is a lot of pressure. Now, I would like to say something about Torino. I mean, we spoke about Juric at the beginning. He was trying to get Torino to play his style of calcio, just like Tudor is doing with Verona. But I'm happy to see that Belotti is finally getting back into the rhythm. He seems in shape, concentrated, focused, a lot of running, a lot of hustling. He has the muscles, and I think that could be a good fit for Italy to come off the bench. Maybe the last one. Listen, he's in shape. You need players that are in shape, and that gives me confidence that a player like Belotti, the way he's been playing lately with Torino, coming back from the injuries,
holding up
I think that could be a potential big help.
Well, this is a big year
Italy.
for Belotti. This is his contract year.
He only has 4 goals so far.
He needs to win the game, but he's been injured.
He's been injured, but now he's back. I see the way
he needs to have a good end of the season. So whoever's versing Torino, they gotta watch out for him.
Exactly.
I think Napoli has to verse Torino. Milan still have to
But
verse
Napoli,
Torino.
the end of April.
Yes.
But they still got to play.
Okay. We'll get to that at the end.
Yeah, we'll get to that at the end.
Let's
but we
go.
still got to talk about one more game, and it is Antonio's team. Milan got a vital 1-0 win against Empoli, and this was before the Inter game. So I think more pressure maybe was on Milan to start it off right.
No, I think more pressure on Inter after Milan already gains 3 points.
Listen,
there's more
Paisa.
pressure on Inter.
But they had a whatever.
There's more pressure to play after somebody wins the game.
To start off when all the eyes are on you is difficult too. I
think it's easier. It clears your head.
Depends. But I want to say 1-0. Milan got the win. I don't think they played anything spectacular. They got an ugly win, I would say, for the most part. Defended towards the end of the game, but they did what they had to do, especially playing before the rivals to top on the table, which they are. And I just want to say, Kalulu scored a spectacular goal, playing center back. That guy, 21 years old, definitely cemented a spot as Milan set a lineup. I would say, 21 years old. He came from France for a little bit over €1 million.
I thought it was 400,000 euros. It's a million.
I think it's 1.2 million.
Is there also is it Tomori who's the under 21 French team?
No, Tomori's English.
British.
Who's the under 21 French?
Theo Hernandez. It was not 21, but when we got him was a
No, there's a center back. He's on the 21 French national team.
It's got to be Kalulu, no?
It is Kalulu.
Yeah.
Kalulu's French.
So anyway,
he came from Lyon B, I believe it was. So
he's on the national team.
He came from that. He's spectacular from him. He could defend. He could score. Him and Tomori have found a nice little partnership over there for sure. And
they're very young. They're very young. They're the youngest team in Serie A.
It's crazy how they picked him out too, seeing the talent from him.
But
right now,
okay, go ahead.
I just want to say Milan right now. The Scudetto's in their hands. I think it's the Scudetto for Milan to lose at this point. Because if they do their job, if they win the games that are in front of them, it's theirs. And Anto, before I pop it off to you, I know you were doing a lot of calculations yesterday, the day before also. I know. Do you have butterflies in your stomach getting excited at all for this? How to start? Because, maybe
let me know when I can start.
I just want to say, after Inter dropped points against Torino, this changed 360 degrees. Do you feel different from now till the last podcast?
Listen,
if you go to
the first podcast,
yeah,
you will see that I predicted I picked up AC Milan to win. Ask me if I still believe that. Yes, I am. Okay, So
You also said Ronaldo's not going to
today,
score no goals for you. in the
today,
game.
it's March 14. You can just laugh as much as you want,
Okay.
all of you.
Yeah.
March 14, 2022, I'm going to be out on a limb. I'm going to stick my neck out. Maybe a lot of people at the end of the year of the Campionato, they're going to be laughing at me. Other than might not.
Okay.
But I think AC Milan will win the Campionato. I'll tell you the
What-
reasons why.
What kind of toilet paper you got?
It's
Charmin?
okay. No, well,
Scott?
listen, whether
Double
we
ply?
okay.
Double ply, triple ply.
I'll tell you the reasons why. First of all, this team, we were talking about leadership. Who's the leader on the team? AC Milan has got plenty of leaders. We were talking about Ibrahimovic. Marco was saying about Giroud on the field that he screams like his guts out. We have even Maignan. Maignan is somebody that just the way, without even screaming, but just the way he looks at you. He doesn't have even the scream. That guy is fearless. It's just the way he looks at the ball, the way he grabs the ball, and the way he steers at you. That guy commands a lot of respect. So as far as leadership, it's we're talking about leadership. AC Milan has got plenty. Okay, in the field and outside of the field. Because Gaetano said that when Ibra doesn't play, Ibrahimovic is looking at you. And when you practice, you have to practice 1,000%. You have to give everything on. That's as. Having said that, with all due respect, Pete, our schedule, we have 4 games at home and 5 games away. The most tough games, it's against Sassuolo and Atalanta, and they're coming to the end of the season. I made this prediction.
Who made these? Who told you those tough games?
Well, let me tell you something. I consider themselves...
Atalanta is not tough?
yeah,
Verona's not
Atalanta,
tough?
Sassuolo, that's what I said.
Fiorentina is not tough?
Paisa, let me finish. Then I'll let you go.
Torino's not tough?
I'm going to let you go. I made this prediction that AC Milan is going to win 6 games. Okay?
Out of 9.
And out of 9. And we're going to tie maybe 3 games. We're not losing. This team is not losing.
Wow.
Just hold me on that.
Okay.
We're going to win 6 games and we're going to do 3 games. Even if we tie 3 games, we're going to take it. The Campionato this year, hear me out, is going to be won at 83, 84 points. Whoever gets 84 points, he wins the Campionato. There is no more 90s, even though there are 27 points still available. Anybody that that goes to 83, 84 points wins the Campionato. Even 82, it all depends on the combination. But if AC Milan, he ties 4 games and he wins even 5, we win in the Campionato. That's it, hands down.
Listen, I take nothing away from Milan.
Yeah.
I agree with what Saki said. È un capolavoro. What Milan's able to do is amazing. But let's not forget
Oh, boy.
that you tied Salernitana, you tied Udinese, you lost to Spezia. The reason why you are still in first place is because Inter have completely hit a brick wall and they don't know how to fix themselves up.
Milan has struggled against the.
Milan
the
have
lower teams.
lost points versus these lower teams.
Wow.
So
We were
what
penalized
what
too. I'm not going to complain about that. We were penalized,
okay,
but I'm
okay,
not going to complain about that.
Okay.
I'm not like you guys.
What I'm saying is, these 9 games, obviously you guys have the leaders. I think with the Giroud, with the Ibrahimovic, you have the leadership that you need in order
Maldini
to,
on top too.
Maldini. So guys that have won before. So you have the leadership. You have the youth also, because unfortunately you need a little bit of that mix. You need that to be naive.
The experience and the
You need to be naive, that you don't even know what pressure
That
is
blended
at
version.
that point, because you're like, I'm just playing the soccer game. And then you also have a Maignan who has been absolutely amazing for this Milan team
Since he came back from the
since he
from
came back
his-
from the
correct,
hand injury.
agree.
He won already with
Nice.
Lille.
Oh, Lille. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that also is a big difference. The 2 teams in Milano, Maignan and Andanovic. Maignan
difference.
has given maybe 10 points to Milan this year. With that being said,
Say it.
and with all due respect, Antonio, Milan are going to have a not so easy time with a lot of these teams that are feisty, right? We're looking at them. But I think this Campionato, I literally think it's going to end, May 22nd.
Last
and
match
that's
day.
when you're going to find out who's going to be the Scudetto
I
winner.
forgot what I saw. That Maignan, I believe Milan was taking a free kick, and Maignan went to the midfield line next to the bench, and he was guiding the players how to set up in the box. He literally
That
went
was
to
him.
the
It was on the midfield.
I forgot where I saw. He
It
was
was on
right
the
in the
midfield.
midfield
Yeah.
line towards the end where usually the fourth referee
I saw the
is.
picture on the
To angle
Corriere.
it.
I saw the
So he
picture.
can angle it, right?
He was guiding and he made tremendous saves. But
yeah.
they won against Empoli. That was really because they struggled against the lower teams, but against Empoli they did
They
win.
win. They
Even
won.
there was that goal from but Empoli did play a great
Again,
Milan,
again,
the
let
first
me
half,
finish, please. Let me
to
go ahead.
jump
Go ahead.
about Empoli. Milan, the first half, they played well. You guys missed a lot of chances. Florenzi had that, should have been a tucked in goal. Leao. So the only thing is, I don't see this Milan team the whole 90 minutes. But listen, you got the job done. That's what counts. The 3 points count, not necessarily the performance. So you have to keep to that standard. And the defense, I think, has been one of the biggest things that have been a
I'll
surprise.
tell you
and
what
a-
gives me this confidence, Pete, is the defense that we have. We have top of the line goalkeeping. We're not missing Gigio, even though Gigio is going through a little struggle right now. And I always have a soft spot for this kid here. But we have 4 tough defenders. We didn't have Theo Hernandez. No, Theo Hernandez is coming back. So with Kalulu, Romagnoli, it's not even been a name to be mentioned anymore. And this is supposed to be the captain of AC Milan. Kalulu, Tomori, Calabria, Theo Hernandez, and then Florenzi. Those are 5. I'm not saying about 3, 4. We have interchange right now. You know, Calabria can play left and right. Florenzi can play left and right. And what's his name? Kalulu can play center, can play right too. So, having said that, the confidence that we have on AC Milan that we're going to win it all is because we have a solid defense and we have a spectacular forward line. The midfield can be, you know, but we have, again, let me just give you the names. Benacer, Tonali, Kessie, Brahim. You want more?
Krunic,
Yeah.
don't forget.
Krunic, Salemaker. Okay, we have plenty. We have youth, we have speed, we have now an extra year of experience, and then on top of everything, the cherry of the cake is Giroud and Ibrahimovic. Those 2 guys, when they are into the field, when they're not into the field, those 2 guys, they do damage with the eyes and with the mouth. And even into the lockers room. Ludo,
I just want to mention one more change that I think for Pioli has been crucial.
Kessie, I forgot Kessie.
For Diaz.
Yeah, well,
Kessie in Diaz's position,
because
that has been a hit for Pioli.
Because he's the guy that destroyed the game of the opponent,
Kessie substituting
of the
Diaz in
creation.
that part of the field has been a success for Milan.
Yeah.
That was a great...
Okay, but you didn't like that move.
At the
great
beginning, I didn't
invention.
like it. I didn't like it. But you know why? Because the first time that he played, he came back from losing the Africa Cup, and then he was...
he wasn't the same.
He was not...
Changing Kessie's position has been a hit
Anyway,
for Milan.
there was a story this morning when the first time that Ibra played against Magnan, Ibra went to Magnan and said, you know, as a goalkeeper, you're a piece of... And
Say it. Shit.
So
You can say that, right, Mike? Can you?
so then there was a penalty,
More editing for me.
and Ibra took the penalty, and Magnan saved the penalty. So Magnan went to Ibra and said, as a penalty taker, you're a piece of... And they became best friends. So that was the story of this morning. Anyway, for Milan, I'm happy for Kalulu. I think 21 years old. He scored the goal. The guy's playing fantastic. I mean, I remember the first games that he played. He played that, it was so... so tentative and nervous. He was playing, I think, right fullback the first couple of games.
Right back.
Man, now you see this guy play like he grew. He's got confidence. You can beat him. He tackles you in midfield everywhere. So I'm happy for this kid.
So you agree to what I was saying technically, yes or not?
With you, nothing. I don't agree with nothing.
But what do you think of Milan overall? In the terms that it's in their hands now, do they have?
No. In their hands, what do you mean? They're going to win 9 games in a row? Nobody's going to win 9 games in a row.
But do they have what it takes? Do they have the mentality to win it?
They have the mentality to win.
Okay.
And it's going to be. I said it from the beginning. The Scudetto is going to stay in Milano, but it's going to be maybe decided on the last game.
They got to continue winning against the small teams.
I think that's
They got to prove themselves still against the small teams, even though they beat Empoli. But they got to play against they got to beat teams.
Guys, we've been here long enough, and we've been teasing about on Instagram and us in the beginning about Antonio brought nice little sheets of the top 4 teams who can potentially win the Scudetto. So we put our calculations on each game, how many points each team's going to win, and we have the final result on who's going to finish first, second, third, and fourth written down, so you guys don't have to wait. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Wait, Ludo wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Ludo, say first to fourth. You can say points too if you want.
No, I'm only going to say the points. Like I said before, I look at who's below us. That's the way I am. I'm realistically.
Aspetta.
So, I'm going to say at this point,
Go ahead.
Go.
Wait for hiding.
Come on.
Is that my pen?
I'm going to say at this point,
Look at my pen.
Milan 82, Napoli 81, Inter 81, Juventus 79.
Ludo, I love you, Ludo. I love you.
That's
I
what
tell
I
you
wanna
what. You did. You know, I bought him at Zeppelin. That's what he did. So.
Anto, you want to go?
Yeah, I actually. Let me just be the second one. So I have Milan at 84. Okay. And I have Napoli, unfortunately, at 81, Inter 83, and Juventus at 79.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. P, you want to go?
Yep. I got Inter at 82, Milan at 78, Napoli at 78, and Juventus at 74.
Wow. Gaetan, you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go. So I got Napoli at 75, Juventus at 79, AC Milan at 82, and Inter at 83.
Wait, Napoli in fourth place?
Yeah.
Ludo, how do you feel about that?
What were you drinking when you did your stats
We'll
over
still
there?
get to 40 million euros.
That's true.
That's
okay.
what it counts.
I put, surprisingly, sounds very, I'll just say it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you have to say, Mike.
Milan 84, Napoli 80, Inter 80, and Juventus 77.
Okay.
Wow. So far, 3 people they have given AC Milan the win.
Scudetto. What do you think about that, Anto? You happy?
No, I mean, it's not I'm happy. We're talking about stats. You know, the math is math. Science is science. But stats, they come from your heart. So he has Inter winning, of course. He's got
does he have a heart?
I have no idea. Ludo is trying to be scaramantic. He has AC Milan winning over Napoli for 1 point. And then this guy here is already, he put put Napoli even on 4th place, which is kind of a very, very, very strange, which I don't believe. Napoli is going to could be the second.
Wow.
Over Inter, to me.
I think this is going to be very interesting. Before this, I was saying...
I think between second and fourth place, they're 7-8 million euros different.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. But I was just going to say before this,
Serie A.
this round before, I was saying Inter all the way to win this, but they have not convinced me at all, especially with a new coach in Zaghi. I'm not sure he's going to do it. There's a lot of cracks in that team right now, and he hasn't resolved it. And I think Milan tasted for the first time that, hey, destiny's in our hands. And I think that I think they could do it. I think they're going to make the
For me
push, and they're not going to
personally,
lose.
Saturday, it's a big test for Inter.
Oh,
you
for
have
sure.
Champions League out of the picture. You have a week to concentrate on Serie A
Yeah.
for the game, and it's not that game will tell a lot. Fiorentina, Inter, that's going to be a big game because Fiorentina right now is in top shape. They run, they'll make you run, and that we need to see if Inter can react to that style of play of if they have the muscles and the stamina.
And now I'm going to go one more time on a limb, and I'm going to say, if I'm wrong about AC Milan, let it be that Napoli wins the campionato.
I thought you were going to say, if I am wrong about AC Milan, I'll take all of you out to dinner at
He owes us a lot
Peter
of
Luca.
dinners.
It's okay.
He
I
owes
can
us
handle
dinners for the
that.
rest
So,
of
but
our lives.
Mike,
if
he
I
can
got
handle that.
if I'm
Put
wrong,
the tape on the side.
if my stats they betray me, I will definitely would love to see, not because of Ludo over here. I couldn't give a damn about Ludo.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Napoli winning. if Napoli wins, that will not upset me because second place, it's how much you get? $40 million, right?
40.
Oh, Champions League, you get $40 million.
No, not everybody.
Between
No,
second and
No, not
Second and
everybody.
third,
There's also a little
Second
difference
gets
in
more money.
Champions League, I believe.
Yeah.
Second gets more money.
Second and third.
From
you get
Serie A.
With $40 million, can you buy some crumbs? Because you said at the beginning of
We
the
have
season
nothing but crumbs.
we're
I
there
don't
just
know
for the
about-
crumbs.
But we have nothing but crumbs.
Now
No
all of a
names.
sudden you're getting $40 million
That's
euros,
true. That's
not
true.
dollars.
Yeah, you shouldn't be talking because you give Juventus to win the Campionato at the very beginning.
Did
You
he?
shouldn't talk.
No, we
And Inter too.
that was before
And then you change your mind.
No,
And then,
they
Mike,
sold-
Mike, can we redo this?
They
and then
sold-
they buy Vlahovic. Mike, can we redo this again?
but they sold the players.
No,
How
it's
am I gonna-
Ronaldo.
Doesn't matter.
Ronaldo was on the team and then he left. Hello.
Hey, stick with your heart and just tell him as it is. Don't look at the market. Stick with your heart.
You said that AC Milan was going nowhere. We're there for the crowns. We're not good. Now you're saying that they're going to win the championship.
I give you my
Well,
stand
what do
at
you
the
care about
beginning.
the championship? It's toilet paper.
I have given
Toronto,
you.
you
I
just-
have given you
Toilet
guys,
paper,
and
too.
you have it on the record. Who's gonna be first to fourth? I put AC Milan first.
Yeah, with 10 games to go.
No, not now. At the beginning,
Yeah, he did say
Of
in
the
beginning.
season.
He said Milan to win it.
not like you guys flip flopping. Oh, he bought that. Change, Mike. Hey, we need to change. Now, put AC Milan from the very first week, first place.
And Anto, I don't know if you remember, but you also put that Zuri to win the Euros in the beginning when no one else did.
So
too.
please.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
Mike.
So maybe this is maybe.
Mike,
and I'm gonna go out on the limb one more time.
Again, another limb. How many limbs you have?
Italy is gonna win
the World Cup.
and we're gonna win. We're gonna qualify, and we're gonna win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much,
next
guys.
week, we will see you guys. Thanks for everyone coming.
Happy Serie A, everyone.
Ciao, guys. Forza Serie A. Woo!
Mike.
Nigga, how many limbs do you have?